Hi there. I just wanted to give an update as to the progress of Lord of Terrain and our new set, World Devoured, and how the small business is going. We've made a few key milestones happen in the last week or two. First of all, we've been painting up some more sets of the World Devoured Terrain. We've been painting up sets equivalent to what's in the standard box for the set that you can purchase. At the moment, we're still taking pre-orders with a 10% discount. That will run out at the end of October. So after that, it'll be available just for stock, but with no discount. So I'll talk about a few of the changes that we've made or progresses that we've made with the terrain. So first of all, I'll show you what we've been painting. So this is one of the sets. I'll put some images up online, but you can see here, basically it's a blue and cream, but on the blue we've put these streaks of light blue and white. If you zoom in very closely, it's actually not as attractive as you might think, but the real key to this terrain is it's creating more or less an optical illusion when you look at it from the table or even with your eyes. So if I quickly go like this, you can see you can't focus on any one streak, so it creates this illusion. It looks really good. My wife has this scheme on her actual Tyranid models, so we painted up a set of terrain to match that. But yeah, it looks excellent. There's a few small extra tufts there of some orange and red just to contrast against the blue and cream, but there'll be an entire set dedicated to this scheme. The next one is also blue, but with a different style. So this one is actually for a water-themed board. So imagine these looking like little islands sticking up. So each piece of terrain is more or less its own standalone island on a water-themed board. So you've got that. I've also added some hints of green as well. These are the only two sets that have got these sort of extra material, but essentially you can customize the set however you want and really try and be as creative as you plan to be. But this has gone for that grey to look like a stone and the blue to match the water effect. Again, for that set, it's still the blue and the grey, but you can see here it sort of looks like a little island. So imagine this on water, so you've got a little bit of grass and that sort of thing, and the secondary colour here is the orange in the eggs. So on the vents we've also used orange, and again I'll show some pictures on screen now. So you can see some images there of the whole board on the screen. And I've put up as well an image there of the board with the cream and the blue too. Not the best of images, but it's it looks a lot better in person. Yes, trust me on that. Okay. All right, so back to our progress with other things. So we are holding events. I've officially launched an event on the Lord of Terrain Facebook page. It's happening in Melbourne at Games Portal. That'll be on the 19th of November 2023. That event's going to have a maximum of around 16 players, but it'll be a little bit different to your standard Warhammer 40,000 event. Yes, it's just your games, 3 games at 1,000 points, keeping it nice and small to get done in one day. It'll still be a very busy day though. But what's very different is that the entire event is themed. Every single board will have terrain related to a World Devoured, and in fact will be a set of standard terrain represented on each table. So it should look really amazing. Imagine the entire event themed in this a World Devoured terrain set style. And yeah, available as well for purchase, of course, those boxes from the online store. Now, to get around one of the issues we've had with competitive play. So if you're just playing casually, the terrain set is absolutely fine, but some people want to play more competitive. So they want to have games where they can really get into the mission and make sure it's as fair as possible. Well, the issue with the terrain is that as it stands right now in the Warhammer 40,000 rule set, if you want to use this terrain for that system, you're going to struggle a bit because you don't have any walls. And without walls or pieces of terrain with the obscuring keyword, you're definitely going to suffer. So yeah, so we thought ahead before we released the set as to some of the options that you can do to get around this. And probably the best option was to keep it looking really thematic, not to go for any really tall, ugly looking walls, but instead use the triangles and the spires to create obscuring pieces. And to do that, we've actually made custom little bases for them. And it's very simple, copying what Games Workshop has recently done at their events. And it's using 3mm acrylic. So very thin, but because the pieces are the right shape, they don't bend. And it looks super beautiful on the board. So basically you take one of these. For example, this is a 12 by 5 inch piece. And you can put... Let's get a couple of them here. Get a couple of spires, for example. And we'll get one of those little triangles here. Everyone see that? Does that make sense? So the way this will look on the board, as if these three pieces have now come together to create one piece. And what you'll do is you'll simply just give this piece of terrain outlined by their piece of acrylic, the obscuring keyword. So, you know, obscuring terrain, treating it like a ruin essentially, even though it's obviously not really a ruin. There's no real alien theme / Turned terrain that's going to make sense really as a ruin, but we use this in its place. So what that does is allows us to actually create 7 different blocks that would normally act as, you know, your standard ruins in Warhammer 40,000 games. And those 7 ruins spread across the board then allow you to basically play in a more competitive manner without having to worry about being shot to pieces. Because unfortunately at the moment, you know, it's very difficult to hide behind these pieces, so they've got to come together to create that imaginary obscuring piece of terrain. But again, the key thing here is that it'll look really fantastic, and it's super fun to play on. You know, it just looks super thematic, all beautiful, done up, and yeah, it's just great for gameplay. The other thing with this event is that we've actually got somebody sponsoring us, helping us out, I should say, with the event in a really big way, and that is Mithras Games. So, get them. Mithras Games are based out of New Zealand. So, here's an example of their little logo. Yeah. And they've actually supplied us with some dice bags to give away as prizes at our events. And they've also supplied us with 2 game mats. And they look really beautiful. Please check out their store and have a look at their mats that they sell. If you're from in Australia or New Zealand, they're easy enough to get a hold of. And yeah, they look really great. And we're going to be painting up 2 sets to match those 2 mats. So every board will have a set of terrain to match it at the event. And so we'll be using their game mats with sets painted to match those at our events. And yeah, it should be a blast. And like I said, should look really great, and be a whole lot of fun. Yeah, so apart from that, that's what we've got going on, painting up sets, getting ready for the event. Again, if you want to grab the new set before with the pre-order bonus of having 10% off, please hop on now. Like I said, that sale will run out at the end of October. And yeah, thank you very much for listening.